Call to order. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 1046 et sec, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the Star Ledger, Nuevo Coquille, Haiti Progress, and News America newspapers. Offices of the Newark. Copy of this meeting notice was forwarded to City Hall for posting. This is a regular advisory board meeting for Tuesday night, March 27th, 2012.
Thank you. Let us please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call to order, right?
Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Baskerville-Richardson? Here. Ms. Spate? Mr. Jeffries? Here. Mr. Kenny?
Here.
Mr. Lamore? Here. Mr. Lewis?
Here.
Ms. Pintor-Marin?
Here.
Mr. Rivera?
Here.
Ms. White? Here. Quorum is present.
Thank you very much. Council, if you could please go over very quickly some of the rules and procedures for tonight's meeting.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the meeting. As a reminder, we have a long agenda, a long list of speakers. Thank you for coming. Please remember to be respectful and to listen to the agenda so that everybody can conduct business. And we understand that you have a right to speak, and if you're on the list, we want to make sure that everybody is heard and we're able to conduct business. Just as a reminder, though, any attempt to hijack or filibuster the meeting or repeated interrupting or badgering the chair or district officials or repetitive or truculent speech or any disregard for the rules of decorum will not be tolerated and may subject the individual group to removal. Also, if necessary, the meeting could be adjourned.
Thank you very much, Council. I want to say thank you very much to Oliver Street School for hosting us here tonight. My understanding is that Principal Nazario, you have a small presentation for us.
Welcome, Superintendent Tammy Anderson, Advisory Board members, friends and family. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the faculty and the students of Oliver to welcome you to our century-old schoolhouse. Last year we embarked on a journey that I believe is going to propel our students right into the 21st century. We began by offering our students Chinese Mandarin instruction in grades pre-K through 3. This year we expanded the program so that students in pre-K through 4 are learning Chinese, and next year all students of Oliver Street School will learn Chinese. We have literally gone to China and back, and we want to share with you what we have learned. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you and introduce you to Ms. Athena Rubino, our Chinese Mandarin teacher, who has prepared a program with our students that I hope you enjoy. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Guangling. Welcome. Andre. I am Andre. I am in kindergarten. This is my older sister. Her name is Brianna. She is in the 3rd grade. 我们希望你们喜欢我们表演.
We hope you like the performance.
Good evening. As I look out at the audience, I see a lot of my students, I see family, I see friends, and I also see my fellow educators. For those of you that I've never met before, My name is Athena Rubino, and it's my privilege to be the Chinese teacher here at Oliver Street School. As you look around in our hallways, maybe on our stage, and also the Mandarin classroom, you can see a lot of Chinese characters. Tonight, you will hear the students say a lot of Chinese words. And this is all part of a cross-curricular program we have going on here at Oliver. So when the students are in arts, or they are in their instrumental music class, their vocal music class, Mandarin is incorporated into the curriculum. And it's very exciting for these students. You had a video presentation you might have seen also tonight, and we wanted to give you a sample of what that cross-curricular program looks like in the classroom. And as we go through our program tonight and see all the activities, we want to bring to life that video that you saw tonight. One thing that I thought that I would share with you about why learning Mandarin Chinese is so unique is because most of the time scientists associate language with the left hemisphere of our brain. But something interesting that happens in Mandarin is the brain processes Mandarin in both the right and the left hemisphere of the brain. So what happens is when the brain hears Mandarin, it treats it as music. And then it moves it over to the left and says, okay, this is the meaning of the Mandarin. So this is something exciting and only unique to this language. And this is what our students are learning. So how do we do this? How do we teach Andre, a 6-year-old? How do we teach a 4-year-old how to learn Mandarin? Well, a 4-year-old doesn't use sophisticated words or complex grammar, right? They usually have basic conversation. So that's how we start. We realize it may take these children years to learn Mandarin, but we feel we're on the right track. We hope you enjoy the show. Please look on the program. Welcome our pre-K.
This is our last performing group.
Thank you, Mrs. Rubino and Mr. Watson, Ms. Tabman, Ms. Nacimiento, Ms. Guerrero, Ms. Genovino for putting together an excellent program for my friends, and my family, one housekeeping item before we proceed with the advisory board meeting. In the event of an emergency evacuation, there are 4 exits. The auditorium is divided into 4 quadrants. This quadrant here will exit out through exit door number 1. This quadrant here exits out through quadrant number 2. The top tier uses exit number 3, and the top tier to my right uses exit number 4. Enjoy your meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Nazario. Thank you very much for the presentation. Next, we have the approval of minutes. Board members, there's 3 for approving. There's January 24th, regular advisory board meeting, January 17th, a board business meeting, and December 20th, 2011, regular advisory board meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes? First by Mr. Rivera, second by Mr. Kenny. Is this a motion to take them as a packet? Yes. Motion to take this as a packet. JR and Kenny.
Okay, it's a motion to take the approval of minutes as a packet, moved by Mr. Rivera, second by Mr. Kenny. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Can I have a motion to vote on the items? First by Mr. Jeffries, second by Mr. Rivera.
Motion to vote on the minutes, January 24th, January 17th, December 20th, and the minutes. Moved by Mr. Jeffrey, second by Mr. Rivera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries.
Next, we go on to parent recognitions. Student recognitions are first.
Sorry.
Ms. Baskerville-Richardson, can you do the parent recognitions first? I'm sorry, then we'll do the students.
Yeah. Ms.
Yes, I will.
Baskerville, before you start, can I say one thing? Good evening, community. We have a full house tonight, and there are several vacant seats. We have people on the outside who wish to come in. Can I ask that you remove your personal belongings from seats? Mr. Galvez will assist people in being seated. Officer LeBron, can you let Mr. Freeman know that we are ready? And you can let people in. Thank you.
Do we want to continue now? Okay. Good evening. Each day throughout the district, hundreds of parents are making a difference in our schools, supporting their children's academic successes by volunteering. The Newark Public Schools Advisory Board Community Relations Committee wishes to recognize and express its appreciation to those parents and community members who devote their time, share their talents and resources with children, staff, and administrators to improve the quality of our schools and the lives of children. Each month, this board will continue to recognize parents, guardians who support our district-wide parental involvement program, consisting of activities focusing on parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and community involvement. Nominated by their child's school administration, we are proud to announce tonight's award recipients. From the East Central Region, Diana Vargas of Lafayette Street School. From the South Region, Patricia Johnson from Technology High School. From the West Region, Timothy Mason Sr. from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. School. Thank you very much. And from the North Region, Jennifer Camacho from First Avenue School.
Public meetings, just like Mr. said. Anytime. It is. Public meetings, bro. Just like this. Just like I heard you visited today. The door was open today. Yeah, 2 good years.
Congratulations, parents. Thank you very much.
I have the pleasure of recognizing some of our wonderful students and some of the great things they have done. First, I would like to congratulate some of our wonderful debate team. From Science Park High School, first place Individual Speakers Award went to Danny. Fourth place Team Speakers category went to Vera, Diana, and Danny. And the topic was solar power satellites. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about both of them because they seem like extraordinary young people. Vera, Diana, and Danny placed in the top 5% of the students who entered Newark Public Schools elementary debate tournament. Approximately 80 teams and 160 individual speakers participated in the tournaments. And Oliver Street students were acknowledged for their outstanding presentations in individual competitions. But we in particular wanted to congratulate Danny and Vera Diana for the first and fourth place finish in several of these competitions, and they did an amazing job. So huge congratulations to them. Everyone please join me in thanking their schools as well.
For those who did not hear, the announcement is 4th grade parents, please meet your children in the cafeteria.
Okay, thank you. Next, we move on with our next portion of tonight's meeting, the report of the State District Superintendent.
We have a couple of brief updates that we'd like to share, and certain members of the team will be sharing different pieces of this. So first I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Leon to talk about testing.
If we can please, tonight is where we need to finish conducting our business and vote on certain items. So if we can please just lower the noise volume down a little bit. It's very tough for us to hear each other up here. Thank you.
No.
Madam Superintendent, Madam President, members of the board, as it relates to the test administration, everyone is aware that the spring portion of every school year is when the juniors in our high schools during the first week of March are administered the high school proficiency assessment. We have students in the elementary grades, starting in grades 3, 4, all the way up to 8th grade, are obviously taking the New Jersey Ask as part of their admissions test. There are a number of procedures that we are obviously reviewing, procedures with regards to how we are securing materials, procedures, how we're administering the different types of assessments to make sure that we're providing all of the students in every single classroom across all of our schools the best testing climate. As it relates to how the test is administered, we're making sure that testing coordinators are receiving intense training. We train all of the testing coordinators every year. We are making sure that all of the testing coordinators are fulfilling their responsibilities, as well as submitting all of the required documentation to ensure that the integrity of all of the state tests are being administered as they have been and were designed. So we're making sure that all of those procedures are in place at or about this time at faculty meetings across the elementary schools. I know that testing coordinators are reviewing testing protocols and procedures with their chief examiners and proctors, and we're very well aware that that occurred already in February as it relates to the high schools.
Okay, brief update on some of these school-based data dashboards. We talked about this before. Everyone knows we are deep in process of creating specific data dashboards for each school, K-5s, K-6s, K-8s, as well as the high schools. We're nearly done with that work. The high schools, we're still waiting for a couple pieces of data that we haven't been able to get yet from the state. Want to remind everyone that the goals of these data dashboards are to look at 4 different types of information, and the first wave of this information will be primarily school-based, which we will also share with the board. The next wave will definitely begin to make available to families because it would be able to give us a more robust picture of how our schools are doing. The kinds of data we have placed in there are 4. The first is student performance. We talk a lot about the percent of students who are proficient or not, which is important. We also talk about things like how folks did on the ACT, graduation rates, dropout rates. Those are absolute numbers that happen once a year. We also have broken down student growth. What we're able to do now, particularly in the K-8 schools, is look at how students are growing or not just how many are reading at grade level, but how many more are reading at grade level every single year. We can now do that by school, by something called student growth percentile, which is something else we're including. We are also looking at equity measures. So in particular on the equity, we're looking to see how schools do with certain groups that have been underperforming, including special education students, English language learners, and struggling students. So, for example, if a school is improving in proficiency, but in fact they're widening the gap for certain students, that's not something we would celebrate. And the fourth is we're looking at environment primarily around teacher attendance and student attendance, not just as overall percentage of attendance, but also the types of attendance our students are performing on. The dashboards have been shared with our principals in draft form. Every principal's received their data from last school year. I think everyone's aware we don't get student performance data for this school year until typically the summer or early fall, which is usual in school districts only because the test data often does not flow. Something else this board asked about were the results on the ACT. And each individual school has their 8th grade results. Each individual principal is reviewing those results with their students. They are not sharing all of the item analysis yet because the 9th and 10th and 11th graders haven't taken it yet, so we want to make sure for test security it's not out there. And we will share a high-level summary with this board and with the community at the next board meeting in terms of how we did overall as a district. Bear in mind, we'll have a much more robust picture after we have the 9th and 10th grade and 11th grade data as well. So that's the piece on the data dashboards. Turning finally to school portfolio update. Wanted to remind the board there are 5 sort of components of the plan. The first component is expanding the number of early childhood seats in the neighborhoods that have the most demand for it. So we're adding 15% capacity in the west and the south wards. The second piece is to grow the number of 6 to 12 models available for Newark students. So most people know that we centralize the magnet school process. The magnets are still in the process of ranking their students. We will then ensure that their rankings and the student preferences increase the amount of diversity and the number of Newark students who are getting into those magnets, and also increase the number of seats that are available to the magnets. We're also launching a girls-only and boys-only 6-12 model, in part because some students really need that to get back on path. And we're also looking to expand our partnership with Essex County Community College because we know that when students get credit while they're in high school, they're more likely to make a smooth transition. We are looking to partner with high-performing charters if they are willing to share data, recruit a diverse student body, and commit to the reforms for all kids in Newark, which many of them are. We are looking to appoint a high school task force to look at all of our student enrollment data, to make recommendations to all of us early fall so that we can begin planning for fall 2013. And we are opening 8 Renew schools the fall of 2012. And many people actually know what the elements of those are, but I would like to highlight them one last time. Each Renew school will have the following characteristics. A carefully selected principal who will in turn be allowed to select their staff and team, many of whom are already in the schools. Social and emotional supports in the form of anything from dental services to physical health services to everything in between. Healthy meals, we're looking to pilot a breakfast, lunch, and supper program. Adult education classes so that we can actually work with the community to ensure that adults who have students attending the schools can also receive additional services. A school-wide mentoring program, pilots around everything from mental health to support for court involvement, and 21st century technology learning environments where we'll be able to take the elements, the resources that we'll save and invest them in the buildings to ensure they're all 21st century environments. And finally, more time on task, so extending the amount of minutes that children are in school so that we can actually ensure that our kids are catching up. So those are the elements. Mr. Leone, I know you also had a few things to share on a couple of the schools with regard to student achievement data.
Madam Superintendent, as it relates to the 8 Newark schools, we know that some information has been in fact received by either the school communities, families, and this conversation is specific on Camden Elementary School. Are there people here from that school? Okay. So, I'm glad you're here. So, a couple of important pieces of information that you need to be aware of. The superintendent identified what are the expectations, 5 expectations that would occur in a Renew school. So, a couple of factual pieces of information so that your hearts are set a little easy. One is Camden Elementary School is not a school that's closing. I'm sorry, I asked, were there people from Camden Elementary School here first, and I heard that there were, and then I said your school isn't closing, but I didn't hear everybody at that time. Your school is not closing. Okay. Good. All right, so if there are parents and students here if there are parents and students here, one of the important realities that you need to become aware of, if you weren't already, is that none of the parents and obviously none of their students are being inconvenienced as it relates to having to go to another school. They're not being inconvenienced with regards to having to choose another school unless they actually wanted their child to go to another school. So to all of the parents that have students and to the students that are here, not only is your school not closing, but you don't have to leave your school. Okay? So that's important information. Let me share. I'm not finished. And when I'm done, if I'm not finished, we could talk about it later. As it relates to the staff, as you're aware, one of the tenets of a renewed school is that the principal would have to go through a process with regards to being identified as the principal of the school. And the superintendent has clearly identified that the principals are the CEOs of their respective buildings, so that all of the staff that's at that school would obviously look at the realities of, would they want to be in a school that has extended learning time? Would they want to be in a school that has 21st century learning, where we're going to upgrade that building as it relates to technology? Would they want to be in a school that was receiving social and emotional support for them to work with their students? Would this be a staff that actually would want to do all of that and accept all of the resources that come with more dollars to the school as it relates to professional development for the school? So that there's a process that the teachers that are there currently, and there are a number of Ms. McAfee's there, but I'm just going to speak on that teacher. There's an elementary teacher that's there. And let me share with you that those of you who know her, and actually I didn't know she was going to be here tonight, but she's right there. So let me answer the staff issue. I visited Ms. McAfee's class. I was there for a good time period, about 45 minutes, to look at the type of instruction that was occurring in her classroom, to see how our babies were being serviced in her classroom. And I'm going to share with you that I provide this testimony that is recorded for you right now, that we would need Ms. McAfee in every classroom across this entire district in every single school. Please be clear that we don't have Ms. McAfee's in every classroom, in every school in the district. And understand this, that the expectation is to provide the assistance and support and all of the resources necessary to assist a Ms. McAfee and to build those that can be and have the desires to do for our children, like that woman has done for those babies in that classroom that I saw. At the direction of the superintendent, we actually had a staff survey that we completed. There was a meeting that occurred with regards to the faculty about 3 weeks ago. We had a family forum with a number of parents, albeit not as large as this group, that were provided some of this information as well. We're excited about the incredible opportunities that are going to be provided, not only for the babies in Ms. McAfee's classroom, but all of the children that are at Camden Elementary School. Oh, that's enough.
Just to conclude this portion, I do want to remind folks of timelines. In April, we will be doing principal selection as quickly as possible. In May, in the mid to April to the second week of May, the renewed principals will have the opportunity to select their teams. And as Mr. Leone shared, we sincerely hope and expect that the people who are doing exemplary work and good work who want to remain in those schools will, and that those who choose other options will have more options. May through June, There will be citywide talent matching, whereby all teachers in all schools will be able to match with one another. And we will also launch some family planning teams that will allow folks to be involved in the planning and execution of the Renew Schools. Over the summer, the technology upgrades and some of the things that need to happen with the building will be completed so that we are on track for school opening in September.
Thank you, Mr. Leone and Superintendent Anderson. Board members, if we can now move on to our voting portion for tonight. First, we have academic services. There are 8 items under academic services. Can I have a motion to take them as a whole? First by Ms. White, second by Ms. Davis-Spate.
This is a motion to take academic services, items 1 through 8 as a whole, moved by Ms. White, second by Ms. State. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Can I have a motion to vote on the items? First by Ms. Davis-Spate, second by Mr. Rivera.
This is the motion to approve academic services, items 1 through 8, moved by Ms. Spade, second by Mr. Rivera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Second portion, we have finance. Under finance, we have items number 1 through 17. Board members, I'd like to take this packet as a whole. Can I have a motion? First by Mr. Jeffries, second by Mr. Rivera.
This motion to take finance items 1 through 17 as a whole, moved by Mr. Jeffries, second by Mr. Rivera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Next, we have one item. Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Can I have a motion to vote on the items? First by Ms. Davis-Spate, second by Ms. White.
Motion to vote on all finance items, moved by Ms. Spate, second by Ms. White. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All finance items passed.
Okay, now we have one item under legal, resolution, the revised policy for technology. Can I have a motion to vote on the item? First by Ms. Davis-Spate, second by Mr. Jeffries.
This is a motion to vote on the legal policy, revised legal policy 6142, technology, moved by Ms. Spade, second by Mr. Jeffries. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Legal item passes.
Okay, this concludes our voting portion for tonight. Our next portion is public participation. Counselor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the public participation portion. As a reminder, guidelines for advisory board meetings, speaking time limits for all speakers will be adhered to. There will be no sharing or granting of speaking time to others. Speakers must be present when their name is called. All speakers are required to give names and addresses. The public participation portion of the meeting is scheduled to be limited to 1 hour and 30 minutes. Examples of unacceptable behavior that will not be permitted include, but are not limited to, engaging in personal attacks or naming district employees, slurs, excessive loudness, calling out, yelling, or generally disruptive behavior, attempts to disrupt the meeting or to incite others to do so. As a reminder, public participation at board meetings is intended to allow individual members of the public the opportunity to address the board and administrators on issues of public concern, not as a forum for two-way dialogue with board members. Issues raised by the public will be noted. If appropriate, issues will be investigated and the individuals will be advised in accordance with board procedures. As read earlier, the superintendent or advisory chair may interrupt any speaker or terminate speaking privileges if the speaker's comments are disruptive or obscene. An individual may be cautioned that the personally directed statement may be slanderous or defaming, and the individual may be liable for his or her statements. An individual group that does not follow procedures may be asked to leave, and if necessary, the meeting may be adjourned.
Thank you, Counselor. I'm going to call up every 2 speakers to come up to the mic. We have 1 mic on the left, 1 mic on the right-hand side. Being that we are a little bit congested, to make it go a little easier, Also, I just want to remind everyone that every speaker has 3 minutes. We have several speakers tonight, so I don't even want to say the number. So if we can all just respect each other's time and our comments until the end, that way we can get the majority of the speakers in. I'd appreciate it. First speaker, Jordan Roper and Issa Williams. Okay, I don't think Jordan Roper is here, so Mr. Williams, before you speak, can I have Christina McDonald? Mr. Williams, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Esau Williams. I have attended Cannon Street School since I was 4 years old. I am currently the 8th grade. I am currently in the 8th grade and will be graduating this coming June. Cannon Street School is a big part of my education because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. I have been accepted to Essex County Vocational High School for next school year, and I know a big part of my accomplishments are because the dedicated, hardworking staff at Cannon Street. My teachers always go above and beyond to better my education. They have stayed after school to help me with extra tutoring when I needed it. They have always believed in me, and that has made me work even harder. I remember how my teachers, even in the kindergarten, have pushed me to be a better student, and because of the consistency in the staff, I have been able to succeed. I am disappointed that they will pull this family apart because the teachers at Cannon Street School work together to help even one child. I would ask that instead of letting our teachers and administrators go, you improve our resources so all work and blame wouldn't be on our teachers. I am proof that Cannon Street is a successful school. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. As I said, Christina McDonald, I don't think she's here. Bernard Asiedu and Onisha Brown.
Good afternoon. My name is Onisha Brown, and I'm from Camden Street School.
Good afternoon.
I think Camden Street School doesn't need to be changed because I came to Camden Street School because I was at a charter school. And they did not do nothing, so I came to a Newark public school. And they made me get good grades. I understand the teachers. This school is a wonderful school. I've been in this school for 3 years, and every year I learn more and more from the teachers. And I don't want that to stop. That is why I don't want Camden Street School to change.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Next speaker, Ihatana Overby and Joshua Martin.
Alright. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished members of the advisory board. My name is Joshua Martin, and I'm an 8th grader at Kansas Street School. I am honored to speak to you about the renewal of my now second school. What does renewal mean anyway? I heard that all of my teachers and administrators will be removed to make the school better. What's being planned seems unfair. We 8th graders are going to high school next year, but what about the younger kids? What about the teachers? What about the kids who need extra help and all the special needs kids? What's going to happen to them? No one has said that the younger kids will stay or leave Kansas Street, but from my experience, I fear the worst. You see, last year I was transferred to Kansas Street from Camden Middle. Now my old school is filled with kids who don't live in the neighborhood, and they say charter school. I didn't mind going back to Kansas Street School, which I attended since the first grade, because it was like reuniting with a part of my community. Everyone at Kansas Street School knew me, but our neighborhood has enough drama, segregation, and separation without our school being closed down. I don't understand why they are planning to do this to us. I will conclude with this. It really doesn't feel like anyone cares about us anymore, except for our parents, teachers, and immediate administrators. What's wrong with renewing what we have without sabotaging what we built? Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What is the true value of a school? I've been to many schools in Newark, but Camden is a lot more for their students than any other school. My name is Katana Overby, and I am here to tell you that Camden Street is a wonderful school. It's a place that helps children grow, not just educationally, but emotionally as well. Camden is a place that is warm, loving, caring, and special. The staff is amazing. All of the teachers are very caring. They get to know their students and work with them so that when they progress to the next year, they'll be more sophisticated individuals. All of my teachers are great. Ms. Pridgeon is a wonderful teacher. She gives you one-on-one help if you don't understand something. She even extends herself outside of school if you need her. Mr. Waddell is a great teacher. He makes learning fun but understandable. And last but not least, Mr. Brown. He makes the learning environment very exciting. I can, as well as my fellow classmates, get what he teaches. As you can see, the school is very valuable. I know as a young adult, I've grown more mature while at Camden Street. I am an honor roll student, and next week, I'll be interviewing for Essex County Vocational High School. I am proof that Camden Street is a successful school, so I'll leave you to think about the question, why take away a key component in our community's youth development?
Thank you. Next speaker, DeJohn DeBazy and Shantae Murray. Shantae Murray.
Good evening, Advisory Board Committee. My name is Shantae Murray, and I'm a 7th grade student who attends Kansas Street School. I would like to thank you for letting me come out and speak. It is my duty to come to speak because I will be a leader of the school next year. It is my political right to have freedom of speech. Please listen to me as I explain to you that my sister has been on the honor roll since she has been a student at Camden Street School, thanks to her teacher, Ms. McAfee. Also, let me explain to you, Advisory Board Committee and Ms. Cammie, one important fact about my attitude issue before transferring to Kansas Street School. I presented many challenges, behaviors at my old school. However, once I became a student at Kansas Street School, I have changed my ways due to my wonderful teachers, Mr. Williams, Mr. McNeil, Ms. Walker, and Ms. Hamilton. They have helped me to understand how to work through difficulties and how to avoid problems before they occur. Now I have learned to use study skills to improve my grades, and I am able to ask for help whenever I need it. Thanks to my teachers, I really appreciate everything they have done for me. Finally, most of my family has attended this school, and no one was aware of a problem with the teachers at Kansas Street School. I do not agree with the decision to renew the school. I refuse to let you take it away. I heard you have a child, Ms. Cammie. Would you like to hear about your child's school being closed down over the media? No, you would not. So why do you think we should have heard about it like that? Don't you think my family and community had the right to be involved in this decision too? Please think about all the people who will be affected. Do you really care about us? Thank you for letting me speak again. Shantae Murray.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the advisory board. My name is DeJohn DeBiase, and I'm an 8th grader who attends Camden Street School. It is such a pleasure to speak to you all this evening about the plans that are being made about renewing my school. I feel strongly against the renewing of Camden Street School, and I have two reasons to support my point of view. First, last year I attended Camden Middle School, but at the beginning of this year, we were transferred to Camden Elementary for our 8th grade year. It felt like we were kicked out of our middle school, which is right across the street. I felt heavy-hearted at the time looking at the air conditioners that got installed in every classroom. I remember how our last month of school was spent trying to keep cool by finding ourselves with books. Every time I think about my middle school being taken by kids who don't live in my neighborhood, it makes me think of Martin Luther King and his struggle for civil rights. But I knew that there was nothing I could do then, and now you are trying to take Camden Street School from us too. In addition, teachers at Camden Street School really care about us. Our teachers treat us fairly, honestly, and supportively. They are there to help when we need help. They understand when we having difficulties that comes with being a teenager, and that's important. Teachers take time out of their life to help us, spend money out of their pockets, and communicate with our families to make sure they know what's going on in our school. In fact, many of our teachers work beyond the call of duty to instill skills and knowledge into their students, so to replace them just doesn't seem fair. We are here to voice our opposition. What's being proposed is foul, pure, and simple. I feel heavy-hearted once again. It is sad to think about having to pack up our class and move on as if we were a sad dog without a home. This seems so outrageous to me and to our school. Please don't take Camden Street School. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speakers, we have Crystal Caceres and Naquata Smith.
Hello, my name is Crystal Caceres. I am a 7th grader at Camden Street School. I think that renewing this building would be a bad idea. This building means the world to me and all my fellow peers. I know this doesn't mean a lot to you because you didn't grow up in this building like I did. This is not just a school, it's home, and these children aren't just my friends, they're my brothers and sisters. And of course, our parents are the teachers. I love this building and everything about it. I want my brothers and sisters to experience what I did in the past years at this school. I want them to feel like they can do anything because the teachers and other students believe in them. Now how am I supposed to make them feel like they can do anything? I will not stop trying. I will fight. I will do whatever it takes to save our school from infiltrations of outsiders.
Hello, Advisory Board Commitment. I am a 7th grade student that attends Camden Street School. Thank you for letting me come out and speak about my school. My name is Naquata Smith. I'm coming today as a 7th grade future leader to speak all about my school. I heard about my school being renewed, and teachers and staff and others are going to be replaced. I don't want this to happen, and I have several reasons to point my point of view. One is that my grades went up from last year. Why? Because I got more help with my teachers and staff. And it was me who cared about what I was going to get on my test. I don't want my school to be removed. I like the way it is. I don't want it to change. I don't want anybody to leave. I really love my school. We didn't even take the test yet, so how y'all going to judge us?
Next speaker, Ben Thomas and Nadia Samad.
Camden Street School is the best answer for the students. As a former student of Camden Middle School, my peers and I experienced the consolidation into Camden Street School. I don't remember anyone asking about our concerns moving to a new school with new people since it's supposed to be about the students. Now that consolidation has occurred and the students are adapting into their new environment, you want to disrupt us again. Are you sure this renewal is about the students? How are we supposed to concentrate on academics and testing when this will be weighing heavy on our minds? All I can think about is here's another disruption in our education. We have developed relationships and trust with the teachers and administration. They know us and our parents. It will take time to bond or develop new relationships. There is nothing wrong with change when it is done the correct way. Think about the students. I think Camden Street School should not be removed. Thank you.
Thank you. Aljanae Ingram and Courtney Headley. Christian Moore and Tazane Manning.
Good evening.
Good
My name is
evening.
Christian Moore. I'm a 7th grader at Camden Street School. My concern is about the renewal of Camden Street School and possibly the removal of all administrators and teachers. I do not want administrators and teachers to leave. Whenever I would see any of the administrators in the hall or in the streets, they knew my name and it always occurs to me to do the right thing. My teachers from 1st grade to 7th grade have been hard, demanding, motivating for me to always put my best foot forward. I haven't always appreciated some of my teachers, but now that I'm older, I really have respect for them. This renewal may not be good for the students. Thank you.
Tazane Manning and Washawn Ellis, I'm sorry.
Good evening. My name is Keyshawn Ellis. I'm a 7th grade student at Camden Street School. Is renewing Camden Street School the best solution for students? If you take the teachers and administrators away, I would be very sad. This building has lots of memory. For example, sometimes I'm not as focused on my academics as I should be. Ms. Walker would say, "You are not on task," or "We do not have time to be idle." Then she would help me Then she would say, "Do you need help? What makes you think renewing the school is going to be the best thing for the students? We are like family. They help me like my parents. They would hurt me if you send my teachers away and replace them with unfamiliar people. Another reason is that it takes time to build new relationships and confidence. How would you feel if someone took your support from you? Leave Camden Street alone."
Thank you. Next, we have Star Gary and Imani Harper.
Good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
My name is Star Gary, and I am in the 6th grade. Camden has been my home for 6.5 years. Camden is the best school ever. The times I had at this school, I will never get back. Every child has a privilege to go to a school like Camden. Taking Camden away would be like taking a piece of me away from myself. The teachers are great. They make sure you learn by the end of every day. See, you can't get rid of Camden. There are too many reasons, so please don't close Camden.
Imani Harper, Yamin Reddick.
Good afternoon. My name is Yamin Reddick, and I am a 5th grade student at Camden Street School. I am here today to save our school. I have attended Camden Street School since I was 3 years old. I love my school. Both of my parents and their siblings attended this school. The teachers I have always been supportive and encouraging. It's now time for the students to support the teachers. Superintendent Anderson, you are making the wrong decisions. We are family at Camden Street School, and if you take the teachers and the administrators away, you have broken apart our family forever. My teacher have always taught me to list the pros and cons when I have a big decision to make. May I suggest that you always list the pros and cons of moving the Camden Street staff. I am 100% positive that the pros outweigh the cons. Please do not take our teachers. Lastly, to Ms. Pack, Ms. Parham, and Mr. Saladino, I love you guys, and Camden Street School won't survive without you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you. Next speaker, DeAndre Robinson and Octavia Carter.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and
Good
members
evening.
of the advisory board. It is my honor to speak to you all tonight. My name is DeAndre Robinson. I am a fifth grader at Camden Street Elementary School. I am here to share my feelings about Camden Street School and to express my thoughts about the terrible news that people are trying to close my school. First, what is happening is not right. I love Camden Street School. I've been a student there since pre-K. The teachers I've had at Camden Street School have been great, encouraging, kind-hearted, and they have taught me a lot. They stay after school to help kids like me with things we're struggling with, and they'll always stay by our side no matter how difficult it is. I have had some bad days, but when I see my school, I get all happy all over again. When I leave from home, I go to my second home, and that's Camden Street School. I am safe there because I know everybody is looking out for me, and I can always count on that. When I think about school, my school, I think of a place I can call home. Some of the people who show they care about me and my education are Miss Parham, my vice principal, Miss Battle, my literacy teacher, my old teachers, Miss Pack, my principal, the security guards, and more. But what is really most important to think about now is all the students. This year we got bigger kids in our school because their school closed down and they were kicked out of their school. I wonder if the same thing might happen to us. I've heard that people are trying to remove our teachers, and that means they are trying to break up our family. That's not right. All I am asking is for somebody to save our school, our teachers, and our students. We need our neighborhood school and our teachers who know us and care about us too. No other school can outshine our school because we have a good, strong family here. Say no way to close Camden Street School. Thank you.
Thank you. Octavia Carter, Stefani Henry, Deanne McRae.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm here to talk about our special needs children. I want to know why. Y'all say y'all
Ma'am,
care.
your name, please?
My name is Stevon Henry. Okay, you got that? Okay. I'm here to talk about our special needs children, what's going to happen to them. My next thing is, if y'all really cared about these parents, they would not have a one-day notice to come here and speak up for their children. Like you put everything on the news, that's where that should have been, since the parents should have been there. They would have more ample time to know what's happening with their children, their community, where they live. Next thing, how can you reapply for a job that you already have? Next off, you know that you put a lot of failing kids in our school. We took it in hand. We still try to help those children because these are our children too. Then you took Speedway children and you put in Camden Street too. That wasn't right. These people don't know that, but we're here to tell you it wasn't right. I work with the special needs children. Y'all don't do what we do day in and day out. We got 9 and 10-year-old kids still in pull-ups. You don't do what we do every day. Lastly, save our children, save our administration. We work hard for what we got. It's not right for you to come and take what these children have. We'll go to City Hall, we'll go to Trenton, wherever we got to go, we're going as a united front.
Next speaker, Deanne McRae, Raheem Shelton. Next speaker, Deanne McRae, Raheen Shelton. Next speaker, Milton Guadalupe, Ramon Melendez. Good evening.
Afternoon.
Good evening, Mr. Melendez.
My name is Ramon Melendez, 24 Eagle Street. Well, I'd like to first start. When these little children here are talking, please do not speak to each other or text on the phone. I think that's really rude, and I don't think your parent taught you that way neither. When somebody's speaking, you don't speak. It's ridiculous. Second, I don't. What? I'm here to talk about two schools, but my first school is Camden Middle. Camden Middle is still a part of Newark. We are roots. This is our root. Kids are here. That's their community. That's their family. They got brothers and sisters. You got little kids coming up here talking about don't close my school, but you know you're going to do it anyway because you don't listen. Look, man, these kids are asking you don't close my school. That's a safe environment, and you're going to close it anyway because guess what? Money's still piling in your pocket. Second thing, I want to ask you this. You have, one of the schools that was on the list was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. School. That's an African-American man who fought for civil rights. And if he wasn't here, none of these African-American people here would be sitting here. But guess what? Those are my brothers and sisters too. I might be a Latino, but these are my brothers and sisters. You can make change, but put change the right way. Do not take the wrong path. Because if you take the wrong path, obstacles are going to come and they're not going to be the right ones. You want to have the obstacles that are right. You want to make the right decision. And you want to make our students not to be left behind. If you say no child left behind in Newark, let's make no child left behind in Newark. And for the speakers and the little children that are after me, look at them and make eye contact. Okay, you don't want none of that. Listen to these little children. They want to stay in school and get an education so they can go to college and get a degree to get a good job. It's ridiculous. Basically it's called manners. And sometimes you guys don't show it. Thank you.
Next speaker, Niftali Granados. Niftali Granados and Crystal Wortham.
Hello, my name is Natalie Granados. I want to talk about how unfair it is to fire all these teachers and staff members. Some teachers have been here for years and years, so it's not fair to them nor students. I feel upset this is even happening. This is a great school. It has been my home for 7 years. I will defend this school with teeth and claws. All the teachers at Camden are very helpful. The teacher will make sure that every student learns the lessons. The teacher continues to challenge me each year. The two teachers that really stood out to me are my 4th grade teachers, Mr. Connor and Ms. Rush. They always have pushed me above and beyond. All the teachers have
here have supported me. It's my family here at Camden. That's what brings me here today.
Believe that according to our list, that's the last speaker in particular that is a student from Camden. We are, as a point of order, we don't respond to individual questions because we wanted to cede our time to the public, but I'm going to take just 1 second out of process here to speak directly to the students at Camden to clarify one thing and make an invitation. The school and the students are remaining. The school and the students, excuse me, I'm speaking to the students right now. The school and the students are remaining. The school is not going anywhere. It is a critical part of the community. We are committed to working with you, to hearing you. We are grateful you spoke this evening. As far as the staff and faculty, we have had several meetings and we're looking forward to talking to you as well. But I want to make sure that the families and the students have the real facts. The students and the school are not going anywhere. And I think it's really important as adults for us to ensure that children are getting clear and fair and real information. So to the students at Camden, to the students at Camden, we are deeply committed to ensuring you are in a good school. We are glad you came. We want to make sure that you have the facts. We look forward to and we'd be happy to come to your school and meet with you directly. To the faculty and staff, we will happily continue to have different conversations with you all, and to those who are committed and would like to be there, there's definitely possibility there. But I did want to make sure the students knew that directly because it's very important that we support you and make sure that you stay on path because you are the reason we are all here. And while we may not always agree about the pathway, we all can agree that you are our future, and we want to make sure you have the real facts.
Absolutely. Thank you, Superintendent Anderson. Crystal? Hi.
Hi, good evening. My
Good
name
evening.
is Crystal. I have 3 children who currently attend North Star Academy Charter School of Newark. Hold up, the time. The teachers, administrators, and other parents have become a part of my family. We trust and respect one another because the ultimate goal is to see all of our children, including my own, go to college and succeed. Education is the only true source of freedom. Slavery still exists today in the form of subpar education. When children go to a failing school, whether traditional or charter, they are being kept in bondage. My community is being kept in bondage. Being able to choose a school that offers a rigorous education where the faculty is only a cell phone call away affords me the ability to work and maintain a presence in their education. My children mean the world to me, and their safety comes first always. But knowing I didn't have to compromise their education in order to keep them safe makes me very happy. Children can learn when they feel safe. And I am grateful for my newly extended family members because education matters to all of them. I want every child in the city of Newark to go to a safe, loving, nurturing environment, be it public or charter, so that they can succeed as my kids have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Tracy Wise Quick and Rhonda Wise. Excuse me, ma'am. Order, please. Ma'am, go ahead.
Good afternoon, or good evening.
Good afternoon.
My name is Rhonda Wise. I live in the West Ward of Newark.
If we can all please respect each other. Number one, we have children in the room.
Excuse me. Can you please be seated, ma'am? Thank you. This is your first warning.
If I can please have everyone's attention. Number one, we are in the middle of public speaking. Number two, we have children from our district in this building. Number three, Ms. Wise, you are next and you have 3 minutes. Please, start.
Is my time starting now?
Yes.
Thank you. I just want to say that my mother was an early childhood educator, a learning disability specialist, and a principal before she died. And I know that she would join me in saying kudos and accolades to the Camden Street School community, parents, teachers, and students for the love and commitment and level of literacy that is clearly evident in your learning environment. I like to say that if passion was applied this effectively at every school in Newark, there would be no perceived conflict between the charter and traditional schools because we would all be thriving in a supportive academic environment. It may be apropos that I was asked to speak or slated to speak at this particular time because I tried to put myself in the shoes of the advisory board members, Ms. Cammie, parents, teachers, the school members. I've worked at a number of different schools in the city of Newark, and I found them all to be worthy of the resources that they deserve, of the educators that they deserve, of the safe environment that they deserve. In every school that I've worked in Newark, there has been talent and ability and commitment and drive that we could all be proud of in Newark. And having worked with all those schools, and now that my daughter attends North Star Academy, Vailsburg Middle School, it's hard for me to reconcile, this us and them situation because the us is the them. The them is the us. We are all the same. I'm the same person who worked on behalf of all of these schools, some of which are slated for being closed. The same person who is now working on behalf of the school that my daughter currently attends. We are all the same parents, all the same citizens, all the same students, all the same educators in the city of Newark, all trying to accomplish the same goal, a safe and effective education for our students. This situation reminds me of the scenario, and I hope I don't run out of time, of when you compare heaven and, excuse my language, hell. And when you went up to heaven, there was a long table with the feast, and everybody was happy and joyous and eating nicely. But when you went down to see what was going on downstairs, people, I said, pardon my language, I'm telling the story. When you went down to look at what was happening downstairs, they had the same long table with the same food, a feast upon it, but the people were starving. And the problem was, upstairs, they had the long forks and a sense of cooperation, and they fed each other. Downstairs, it was all about me, and when that fork was too long to feed themselves, they didn't have the wherewithal to think that if we work together, we can feed each other, and everybody moves forward, everybody thrives, and everybody eats. Thank you. My daughter is the top scholar at North Star Academy, and I am proud to be here on behalf of everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker, Adrian Wiley, Willie Thornton. Aldina Thomas, Tone Foster. Hone Foster. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Honey Foster, and my daughter Paris attends Team Academy. Paris has an IEP, and finding a quality option for her has been a lifelong struggle. She's attended both traditional public and private schools, and she has been labeled throughout as being lazy and inattentive. She finally attends a school that has supported her through her disability and is working to make sure it is not a setback but a stepping stone to her college success. I'm incredibly proud of her work and thankful for the school she's in, but I'm here tonight because I know that there are thousands of kids like her that are still struggling to find learning environments that will provide them with their stepping stone. I have plenty of friends and family who have had similar experiences as my daughter, but unfortunately, they have not been able to benefit from the ability to choose from alternative forms of education. I feel every family in the city of Newark should be afforded a quality, free education in our city. I believe that every family in Newark should be able to choose a great school for their child, and I firmly believe that this city will go in the direction that its education system goes. I'm here to ask this advisory board to support any reform that gives parents the ability to choose excellent schools for their kids. Schools whom have made preparation for college their top priority, and with teachers and parents who have contracted agreements to make the necessary sacrifices to achieve just that. For too long, children in Newark have not had enough of these schools. I hope all of you on the advisory board would think of my daughter as you consider the future of Newark schools. I want to give our new superintendent the chance to support all of the city's special education students, and I will support any proposal that will help them achieve their full potential. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Candace Ellis and Maureen Daly Barnett. Ronald Lester. Cassandra Kennedy. Ms. Jackson. Go ahead, Mr. Lester.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
My name is Ronald Lester. I have two children that attend North Star Academy downtown campus. I have a son that's in 12th grade who's going to graduate and attend college. He will be the first Lester to attend college. And I made him a promise that I would stand behind him no matter what it took, and I would provide all the necessities that he needs to ensure that he become a successful individual and he can give back to the community. But I like to apologize because sometimes these topics can be a little overwhelming. But parents, please, let's make a wise choice. Our children's future depends on our decisions. Let's don't look at the monetary value, but let's look at what our children are getting. They get a chance to be in an environment that they're thriving. My kids love going to school. I never seen children so excited about getting up, getting ready, and going to school. I'm not
Excuse
a
me,
product
Mr. Lester. Ms. Mohammed? Thank you. Now, the young lady sitting in front, this is your first warning.
But this is very important. I won't say we control the future, but we have a chance to make changes. We can make small changes or we can make big changes. And my sympathy goes out to all the schools that have been closed, but success is an option. Failure is not. I'd like to conclude with thank you for your patience and your consideration, and good night.
Thank you, Mr. Lester. Next speaker, Cassandra Kennedy and Floshia Johnson. Floshia, I'm sorry. Oh, Flohisha.
Good evening. My name is Flohisha Johnson, and I'm a resident of Newark. I own a home in Newark. I'm a taxpayer in Newark, and I have 2 boys that attend non-traditional public schools. When I think of a great teacher, 3 characteristics come to mind: passionate about children and education, committed to making a difference. 3, knowledgeable, smart and knowledgeable about the content they are teaching. If all children have a teacher who is passionate, committed, and knowledgeable, they will have someone who is preparing them to be the masters of their own destinies. I have a fourth grader at North Star Academy, Wellsburg campus, and I have a 2nd grader at North Star Academy, Wellsburg campus. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. And when my 4th grader started in kindergarten at North Star, he totally shut down. He did not want to be in the classroom. He did not want to learn. He sat there all day with his hands in Star, not wanting to do anything. And the principal at North Star Academy told me he would be okay. And for some reason, it didn't sit right with me. So I went into her office one day after 2 weeks of my child just sitting around and not doing anything, and I told her that I wanted to transfer. My district school is George Washington Carver. I wanted to transfer for my child to go to George Washington Carver because I felt as though they weren't doing their job. That principal pulled me into her office and she told me it was going to be okay. She told me that my child was going to succeed. She told me that my child one day was going to graduate from a 4-year college. She told me things that I needed to hear at the time. And now my child is in the 4th grade, and last year was the first year that he took the New Jersey ACTS test, and he was above proficient in all areas. When you have a teacher and you have faculty members that care and are passionate enough to pull you into their, and not saying that it's only at charter schools because it's at all schools. I am a product of a Newark public education. I went to Clinton Avenue School. I graduated from the Gifted and Talented program at Louis A. Spencer. I graduated from Arts High School with a major in drama, and I graduated with a bachelor's degree from King University. I am a product of the Newark public school system. There is nothing wrong with the Newark public school system, and there's nothing wrong with the charter school public system. I believe in choice, and all parents in the city of Newark should have a choice for where they want their child to go for education. I believe that all students should have a choice of where they're receiving their education from, and the teachers that are giving them that education as well. And when I think of 3 things, when I think of school, 3 things come to mind. 1, the stats of the school. 2, will the children will and are the children succeeding at the school? And 3, the location of the school. And I believe that you cut me off, and now you can't hear me anymore.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Next two speakers, Karen Grimes, Leslie Foster. Next 2 speakers, Nadia Preston, Linda Pollard DiMartino.
Hi, good evening. My name is Linda Pollard, and I'm a parent of 4 children. I have 1 in traditional public school in Newark and 2 in North Star Academy. At first, I was very, very skeptical about putting my daughter in 5th grade at North Star with an IEP. After some time and hard work with both me and the school, my daughter has made honor roll in all her semesters. She works hard and sets goals to see a bright future. My child hated school and now loves it. My kindergarten son reads at a level that's almost 2nd grade. He says, "Mom, I'm going to college." I know when I was in kindergarten, that was the furthest thing from my mind. I never met a staff that cared as much for my children. Also, the public school staff did a great job with my kids as well. I can call any teacher at any time, and they're always available, any time of day or night. I know as a parent, I made the right decision for my children, and I have no regrets. We are working here together, we should be, but it seems like we're fighting for all the wrong reasons. This is not charter versus public. This is about our children. This is about our children's future, folks. We need to stand united and not divided. I just think that this is something we need to do. I am advocating for every child in the city of Newark to receive a high-quality education from excellent teachers and qualified administrators to ensure that all students, not some, not public, not chartered, all students, receive an education and are graduating college ready. I am here as a Newark resident, as a mother, as a taxpayer, and as a homeowner. And I feel that my child and every child in Newark deserves this. We need to make these options available to everyone. And I thank you all for listening.
Thank you. Next speaker, Harry Perryman. Adara Maduko. Mr. Perryman? Adara Maduko? Is she here?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
And I just want to say this. We need to cool it, really. My prayers go out to everybody in this room because these issues are very, very controversial. These issues are very difficult for both the board, advocates of children, and parents. But I just want to share to you the reasons why I made the decision to send my kid to North Star Academy. First of all, I live at 1 Mapes Avenue in Newark, and I have 2 kids in the charter school system at North Star Academy, at the downtown campus and at the West Side campus. For me, it basically had to do with what I wanted for my children, the expectations that I had for my children, and where I chose to put them in an environment that's conducive of the success that I personally believed that they could achieve. So I was very happy after a year of having them on a list, because North Star has this policy where they do not handpick students. They do not personally select the students that attend the school. The children have to actually go through a lottery system. So it's just simply the luck of the draw. Every child has an equal opportunity to attend the charter school. So for me, it had everything to do with the quality of the school, the preparation that the children actually receive at the school. When my kid started, he really didn't understand the system. It was a very structured system, but it's one that I really appreciated. I must say, sometimes when we have the discussions, he comes home to me and he tells me he's been studying Newton's law, and he's been studying physics, and he's been studying statistics, and he understands the subject matter, and I'm asking him and challenging him to explain what he's learned in school, I must say that I am very proud that I've made the right decision. Now, I hope that every single child in the city of Newark has the same opportunity, that every parent has the same opportunity to send their children in a high-performing school. I hope, and one final thought, I just want to say, this is what I want to say. To the Camden School family, I wish you good luck. And let me also extend as parents, and I hope that all the charter school parents will join me. If there's anything that we can do as parents from the charter school to help you succeed as parents and students, reach out to us and we will reach back out to you.
Thank you, Mr. Perryman. Ms. Maduko, are you here? No. Arnold Lockey and Jennifer Smith. Order, please. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good evening, advisory board members. My name is Jennifer Smith, and I'm a teacher at Chancellor Avenue Annex Elementary School. I have been teaching in the Newark Public Schools district for 3 years. I've also served this district as a substitute teacher and student teacher. The past few weeks have been an upsetting mix of emotions for myself and many of my colleagues. Every few days, we have been informed of a different version of the district's idea of the future for our staff and students. Most recently, we've been made aware that the instructional staff at our school must reapply for our jobs in order to determine who is an educational match for the future of our school buildings. This is extremely worrisome because we are nearing the last 3 months of the school year, a time when we should be focusing our attention on preparing for the next year, but instead are overwhelmed by the uncertainty ahead of us. When I became a part of the staff at Chancellor Avenue for the 2010-2011 school year, I was honestly worried about the reputation that Chancellor Avenue Main had carried. Many people outside of the school marked it as a building that was a poor learning environment. But fortunately that year, positive change came in the form of a new administration. With Principal Fitzhugh, Vice Principal Boateng, and Vice Principal DaCosta at the helm of our school. And what I've witnessed in the past 2 years at this school is an honest-to-goodness transformation. The climate and culture of this school have been changed into a place that fosters learning, encourages student exploration, and is all around a wholesome environment for all. People who were pulling their students out of the school suddenly wanted back in because of all the good things they had heard about Chancellor. It is the vision of our principal that has been brought to life in such a rapid amount of time that I think it nothing short of a miracle. But the people who were also responsible for making this happen are the staff at Chancellor Avenue. Everyone from teachers, administrators, aides, custodial workers, cafeteria workers, security guards, and parent volunteers have pulled together to make our school what it is today. And now, after all of this change, our district seems to want to rip the very fabric of our school apart by subjectively making administrators and staff reapply for their jobs. I can't imagine how hard it would be on our students to find that a number of teachers they care about are no longer at the school. I find it even harder to be on the opposite spectrum of that reality, where I may not be with the students that I have grown to love and care about so deeply, because someone has decided that I do not match their vision for our school. If this were simply a job for my colleagues and myself, this would be a cut and dry matter, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. There is actually another Jennifer Smith on the list. Is there, Ms. Smith?
Yes.
That's you?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Smith, and I live at 24 Hazelwood, and my child attends Team Academy. We are advocating that every child in the city of Newark receive a high-quality education from excellent teachers and qualified administrators to ensure that all students graduate college ready. I'm here as a Newark resident.
I'm sorry, Ms. Smith, can you hold on 1 second, please, because we cannot hear you. Okay, Ms. Smith.
I am here as a Newark resident to say that education matters. Team has improved my son's ability to think outside the box as well as to advocate for himself. I am very involved in my son's education and learning habits, but now that he has been at Team Academy and has been able to make these achievements, I know he is on his way to becoming a well-rounded individual that I have instilled in him as well. Our Newark parents and children deserve to have a choice in quality education because education matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Brian Smith and Tori Richardson. Jackie Ramos and Zanika Claiborne. Order, please.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Ramos. I live at 126 Verona, and my child attends Team Academy. We are advocating that every child in the city of Newark receive a high-quality education from excellent teachers and qualified administrators to ensure that all students graduate college ready. I am here as a Newark resident saying that education
Order,
matters.
please.
Team Academy is the school that has helped my children flourish into well-rounded, knowledge-seeking, independent individuals. Children who are not afraid to speak their mind because they have been taught that in order to make change, you have to know how to articulate and stand up for what you believe in. Team is not only a great educational institution, but it has become our family. I have all my daughter's teachers' cell phone numbers, and I can reach out to them if we have any questions. That sense of teamwork is what all our children should be exposed to. My daughter is excited about college. She's excited about finding the best high school to attend. She wants to become a teacher so that she may come back to Newark and teach in her community. All because Team has instilled in her a sense of pride in where she comes from. That's the city of Newark. I'm here today because I want every family in Newark to be able to choose an excellent school for their child. So why shouldn't we have more schools that can offer this to all of our Newark children? I am in complete support of having all our schools prepare our children for college and beyond. I want all our children to know that college is an option and they can attain it. I want them to be in an environment that will encourage them to be open-minded and learn that it is okay to be intelligent. I want all our children to have an opportunity to be in a school where they feel safe and most of all, like their teachers and administrators care about them. Our Newark parents deserve a right to have choice because our children deserve to have an excellent quality education because education does matter.
Next speaker.
Hi, my name is Zanika Claiborne. I'm a Newark resident. My son attends Visions Academy, a teen public charter school, which is my son right there, an honor student, #1 student in the school. I'm a Newark resident and proud public school parent as well. Vision Academy isn't just teaching my son. They are helping him to be a better person and making sure he gets to college and ready for challenge. My son can't wait for better opportunities to come around. He needs to learn now, right now. He needs to get ready for college right now. I'm here tonight because I think we need to provide our children with good schools that mean more charter schools, more great public schools, and more opportunities. Every family in Newark should be able to choose an excellent school for their child. That means all kids in my family, in my neighborhood, at my local churches, even your child will help do whatever it takes to make sure more families can choose great schools for their kids. Thank you.
Next speaker, Monique Camacho and Wallace Arrington.
Good evening. My name is Monique Camacho, and my child attends.
We can't keep going, and we can't have all these speakers speak if we can't hear. Sir, please.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Where's Willie? Excuse me, sir. Take him out.
Go ahead, ma'am. Order. Ma'am, please. Ma'am, please sit down. Can we have order so that we can continue with the rest of the speakers for tonight?
Can we continue the meeting? We're halfway through the list. If we keep it up, we're not going to hear anybody else.
The 90 minutes is almost over. We need to keep going. Ma'am, please go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Monique Camacho, and my child attends Spark Academy located in the George Washington Carver School building. Yes, we are co-located with 2 other schools in the city of Newark. Spark Academy, a public charter school, has instilled a newfound confidence and belief that education is fun and worth having, especially for my son Kanye. Kanye is the 3rd to last child to attend the team schools, and there was a lot of pressure from his siblings to perform and behave well because of the reputation that they have established at their individual schools. Ms. Adams and Ms. Pollock not only ingrained a love for learning, but they helped him become a scholar who is on the path to college. The school has made my life easier. He comes home every day. He takes his books out for homework without being asked. He makes sure I attend meetings like the one tonight, and is reading to his younger brother almost every night. My son is growing each and every day, and I know he will be attending college in the year of 2023.
Can we please just have the speaker continue speaking, and then towards the end we can have the applause.
But I'm not here to just talk about my son. I am here today because I want every family in Newark to be able to choose an excellent school for their child. I have friends and family who are currently on waiting lists, not only for Spark, but for other charter schools. I have friends who want a choice between high-performing traditional public schools around the corner and high-performing charter schools in their area. The point is that all ALL parents deserve the right to choose to send their child, their scholar, to be on the path to college. Thank you.